This video didn't just appear on your screen. He was sent for something bigger. God, the universe, or maybe your future self, the one who has already felt what you feel now. And he came back to the past just to warn you. You're making a mistake at night that's destroying your body's strength. And this has to stop. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. To feel, there's something going on inside you. Something you may not have realized yet. But it's draining your energy every night while you sleep. Yes, while you sleep. Have you noticed this? Waking up with heavy legs. The arms are unsteady. The feeling that each step costs more. As if your body were silently crumbling away, little by little. No warning. No sharp pain. Just disappearing. And the scariest thing? This happens when you think you're recovering the most, during sleep. But there is a secret hidden behind this. A subtle mistake. Little, but devastating. Many people over 60 make this mistake every day. A simple, common, and seemingly harmless habit. But it has the power to destroy what keeps you standing, your muscles. You might think, must be my age. But it isn't. This weakening, this loss of strength, this feeling of fragility, it is not inevitable. It's not natural, and there is no need to continue. You are losing muscle mass at night, not because he grew older, but because your body is forced to devour itself, for lack of a simple gesture. And nobody warned you about this. It's like a silent thief lurking in your room while you sleep. But this thief is inside you, and it feeds on its own energy. And that's why you wake up weaker, more tired, fear of falling. Fear of not being able to hold a bag, climb a step, or even get out of bed without assistance. But today, right now, something sacred is revealed. And if you stay with me until the end, you'll understand what's happening to your body. And more than that, you'll discover how to change that with a simple, almost magical gesture before going to bed. No, you were not born to waste away. You were not born to feel powerless. Not even accepting this fragility as a punishment of time. You were born to move with determination, to maintain your independence. Feel proud of the body that still carries your story. And yes, it is possible. Even after 60, even after 70, even now, the strength you lost can return. The vitality that seemed far away is still within you, asleep, but alive. And it all starts at night. With what you eat, with what you do, or stop doing it, before laying your head on the pillow. So, listen to this call with an open heart, because he came from far away. He crossed time to find you, and it carries within itself a promise. You can still be strong. You can still wake up with more energy, not less. You can still walk smoothly, but you must do it now, before the next night takes another piece of your strength. Healing begins with awareness. And awareness begins now. Have you ever felt when you woke up that your body doesn't respond as it used to? Do your joints take longer to work when you get out of bed? That tiredness, which should be cured with sleep, doesn't go away? You are not alone. Every day, more and more people realize that the vitality of the body seems to fade as the years go by. But what many don't know is that behind this there is something deeper, more subtle and silently destructive. It's as if the body gradually forgets itself. You don't realize it, but every movement becomes more difficult and the energy disappears imperceptibly. That lightness of walking, the pleasure of climbing a ladder, the simple act of bending down to pick something up from the floor, all of that seems to become more challenging, doesn't it? Sometimes memory seems to fail us. You forget words, names, places, and you wonder, am I really getting old? But the truth is different. You are not aging. You are being forgotten by your own body. And this doesn't happen because you've reached old age. This happens because you have been negligent with the signals your body sends you every night. It is during sleep that your body must restore itself, that it must regenerate itself. But without knowing it, you're putting your body into a kind of scarcity mode. It begins to consume its own resources, its muscles, its nutrients, to survive the night. You go to bed, hoping that rest will bring relief. But what happens is that your body begins to deteriorate even further because it doesn't have the proper fuel. Without adequate protein and nutrients before bed, your muscles begin to slowly break down, a process no one warns you about, but everyone feels. Have you ever wondered, why do I wake up more tired than when I went to bed? Why does the pain seem to persist even after a full night's sleep? This is no mystery. This is not something beyond your control. The problem lies in the way you treat your body before going to bed. Lack of adequate nutrition at night, when the body needs it most, is the root of this silent evil. When you go to bed on an empty stomach, or don't give your body what it needs, it starts to feed off its own muscles. Muscle loss starts right there, while you think you're just resting. It's easy to think that age is the only culprit, but I'll tell you a secret. The real cause lies in the way you treat your body at night. This is the silent mistake that destroys your energy, your strength, your balance, and your mobility. Now, let's imagine the opposite. Imagine waking up without pain or fatigue, but with a renewed body. Imagine that instead of feeling heavy, your muscles feel lighter, firmer, and more alive. Imagine feeling your body start to get stronger again, not overnight, but night after night, with small actions you take before bed. This is not impossible. It's much simpler than you think. And if you feel tired of waking up weak, of feeling the wear and tear of time with every movement, I invite you to join this path of transformation. This journey begins with what you do every night. Now, before night falls, do something simple. Do something that will change the way you wake up tomorrow. Have you ever stopped to think that it's not age that takes away your vitality? That, in fact, what happens to your body is not inevitable, but a consequence of the decisions you make every day, especially at night. Yes, many believe that, as the years go by, the body will inevitably wear down, that strength will disappear as if it were a natural process, something beyond their control. But that is not true. The real cause of loss of strength, loss of balance, loss of vitality is not the simple fact of aging. It's in the habits we follow throughout life and, more importantly, in the decisions we make in the quiet hours of the night. You should know, your body has incredible wisdom. It was designed to regenerate, heal, strengthen. But this regeneration doesn't only happen when you're awake and active. It happens when you're sleeping, when your body, instead of wearing itself out further, should be repairing, rebuilding, and renewing itself for the new day ahead. Unfortunately, the reality is that while you lie back and think you're going to rest, your body often doesn't get the care it needs to do its job. Without adequate fuel, without the nutrients necessary for recovery, it begins to consume its own resources. The muscles you need so much to maintain your independence, to keep moving, begin to disappear overnight, without you even realizing it. And that's not the fault of age. Age is not the villain here. The real enemy is the habit you've created over time. The habit of not giving your body what it needs to stay strong, healthy, and balanced. And what is the most painful thing about this? You've probably already noticed these signs. Tiredness upon waking up. The stiffness that takes over your muscles throughout the day. The feeling that you no longer have the energy to face simple but essential daily activities. But you don't have to live like this. You are not condemned to this reality. Everything can change, but change begins the moment you decide to act differently. Imagine for a moment that instead of going to sleep on an empty stomach or with inadequate nutrition, you went to sleep nourished with what your body truly needs. Imagine if instead of giving in to rest and exhaustion, you were providing him with the tools to regenerate, to rebuild his muscles and renew his strength. Here's what most people don't realize. The key to maintaining vitality, strength, and health throughout your life is what you do at night. The good news is that, contrary to what many people think, this change doesn't require great sacrifices or complex actions. These are not miracle cures or complicated diets. What you need is wisdom. Simple but effective practices that you can incorporate into your routine. Have you ever noticed that what you eat at night has a direct impact on what happens to your body while you sleep? This is what science has proven. Your body needs proper nutrition to ensure that while you rest, it continues to work to repair damage, rebuild muscle, and balance energy. But without proper support, without proper fuel, it goes into survival mode, where it begins to consume what it has, its own muscles. And that, my dear friend, is not something you have to accept. It's not something you should let happen without reacting, because you have the power to change that now. It's not the age. It is the custom. And habits, well, habits can be transformed. And the transformation begins with a simple choice. a choice you can make every night. A choice that will change the way you wake up, the way you feel, and the way you live the next day. Imagine waking up in the morning, not in pain, not tired, but with renewed energy. Imagine looking in the mirror and realizing that, little by little, you are regaining the strength you thought you had lost. Imagine feeling like you are stronger every day, healthier, more vital. This is not a dream. It is possible. And it starts with changing your nighttime habits. You may not realize it, but there's a silent enemy that operates every night, draining your energy and destroying what's left of your physical strength. And the worst part? It doesn't present any obvious pain or warnings. It operates in the shadows, undetected, until it's too late. This enemy isn't age, as many believe. No. It's much more insidious than that. It is a silent mistake, a habit that we all adopt at some point without knowing the damage it causes. And it's draining your vitality from the inside out. Have you ever wondered before going to bed if what you're eating is enough to sustain your body? Or do you just fall asleep without worrying about what your food does for you? I'm talking about a common, yet quietly devastating, mistake that happens every time you go to bed without proper nutrition. At night, when the body enters sleep mode, it enters a state of energy, hunger. This means that during sleep, the body needs fuel. But not just any kind of fuel. You need the right nutrients to regenerate, strengthen your muscles, and rebalance your systems. And it is at this crucial moment that many people fail. By going to bed without proper nutrition, you put your body into a kind of emergency mode. Without the necessary proteins, without the essential amino acids, your body begins to feed on itself. Yes, it starts to consume its own muscles, destroying what should be recovering. And that, my friend, is the silent mistake that many make without knowing it. It's not that the body doesn't have resources. It's just that it doesn't have the right fuel to do the recovery and regeneration work. You think you're resting. But in reality, your body is in a cycle of continuous wear and tear, which intensifies every night. Lack of timely nutrition is not something that is immediately noticeable. But as time goes by, it manifests itself. In weakened muscles, in the absence of energy, in the pain that doesn't seem to go away, even after a full night's sleep. You might think the problem is your age. But it isn't. The problem is what you don't get done every night. It's the mistake of not giving your body what it needs to restore itself, to strengthen itself, to maintain the strength it needs to keep going. Now imagine for a moment that you do something simple before bed, something that changes the trajectory of your body throughout the night. What if, instead of going to bed on an empty stomach or without proper nutrition, you gave your body what it needs to fully regenerate? Imagine if instead of the body going into destruction mode, it started working in healing mode. Imagine waking up feeling stronger, more energetic, lighter. Imagine that your muscles, which previously felt heavy and fragile, begin to repair themselves, to strengthen themselves while you dream. That's the power of proper nighttime eating. It is the key to stopping the cycle of wear and tear and beginning to reverse the damage. With simple, affordable, and natural foods, you can provide your body with exactly what it needs to stop this destructive process. And, contrary to what you might think, this doesn't have to be complicated. There's no need to resort to expensive supplements or complex diets. These are simple gestures you can do every night as a form of self-love and body care. And when you start giving your body what it needs, you start to see changes. Small but powerful changes. And these small victories add up. They add up until you wake up feeling the difference. In your body, in your mind, in your energy. Now that you know what happens while you sleep, take control. Don't let the silent mistake of not giving your body what it needs continue to sap your vitality. Turn your dream into true regeneration. Because by doing this, you will see your body transform, you will feel the difference, and you will understand that you are not trapped by the wear and tear of age. Yes, you can reverse the process. And if you're just beginning to feel this change, to notice the first signs of transformation, enjoy this moment. Because change starts now. Now that you understand the silent error that has been occurring every night, let's talk about what can be done to reverse this situation. We are not talking about miracle solutions or complex formulas. We're talking about something simple, something deeply wise and ancient: proper nutrition before bed. Did you know that, according to recent studies, what you eat before bed has a direct impact on the preservation and regeneration of your muscles? When you go to bed without proper nutrition, your body doesn't have the materials it needs to rebuild the tissues and strengthen the muscles it used during the day. But if you provide your body with the right nutrients, the recovery process is intensified. It's like putting quality fuel into an engine that's already tired of running, and then it starts running again with more power and efficiency. The key is in the foods you choose to eat at night. They are like medicine for the body on its nightly journey of recovery. But not just any food will do for this to happen. The right foods have the power to prevent your muscles from deteriorating while you sleep and, instead, activate a regeneration process. You may be wondering, but what are these foods? First, it is important to understand that the body needs quality proteins to rebuild itself. During sleep, your body undergoes a period of repair and renewal, and without protein, it can't perform this function properly. But the secret isn't just protein, it's specific types of protein and nutrients that help maximize the recovery process. A powerful example is thecosine, a protein found in foods such as cottage cheese. It digests slowly, releasing the necessary amino acids throughout the night, allowing your muscles to stay nourished and strong, even while you are in the deepest sleep. This slow-release process is essential because it prevents the body from entering catabolic mode, where it begins to feed off its own muscles. Another powerful food for this muscle recovery is boiled egg. Eggs are a complete source of protein, containing all the essential amino acids needed for muscle rebuilding. Additionally, eggs are rich in leucine, an amino acid that helps stimulate muscle protein synthesis, which is especially important as we age. Leucine activates the body's mechanisms that promote muscle growth and maintenance. And if you're over 60, your ability to utilize protein decreases, but leucine can help restore your body's muscle response. Now, you might be wondering, how can I incorporate these foods into my routine in a practical way? The answer is simple. You don't need to worry about complicated preparations. A portion of cottage cheese before bed, for example, it's easy to do, affordable, and provides the body with the proteins it needs to regenerate. Also, 1 or 2 boiled eggs, they are an excellent option to add to your routine, and they are quick to prepare, without requiring much effort. These foods not only help strengthen your muscles while you sleep, but also support other aspects of your well-being. Cottage cheese, for example, contains tryptophan, an amino acid that helps improve sleep quality. Therefore, by eating this food, you are not only fueling your muscles, but you are also helping your body enter a state of deep relaxation, which promotes more effective recovery. This is the kind of ancient wisdom we often forget in our modern lives. You know that phrase, "Are we what we eat?" She has never been so sincere. You may be allowing your body to weaken due to a lack of proper nutrition, but the moment you start providing it with what it truly needs, it begins to restore itself, to strengthen itself. These simple foods, like cottage cheese and eggs, are like medicines that nature has given us in abundant and accessible form. They don't have to be expensive or hard to find. These are foods that you can easily incorporate into your routine and that, over time, will show surprising results in preserving and regenerating your muscles. Now that you have the knowledge, the real transformation begins. These aren't radical changes, but rather small tweaks to your diet that have a profound impact on your well-being. It is an ancient, simple, and effective wisdom that gives us back what time thought it had taken from us. Every night, by making these simple choices, you are allowing your body to recover what it has lost. And soon, when you wake up, you'll feel a difference. Whether it's in your strength, your energy, your balance. These changes may seem small, but over time they add up. And what you'll soon discover is that your body is becoming stronger, more resilient, and more vibrant than you ever imagined. Now that you know what happens while you sleep and understand the importance of nourishing your body with the right foods before bed, it's time to take a deeper look at what actually happens during sleep. During the hours you spend resting, your body enters an almost magical state of recovery and regeneration. It's the time when, freed from the intense activity of the day, your body begins to work tirelessly to repair what's been damaged, restore what's lost, and strengthen the systems that sustain our vitality. Did you know that sleep is one of the most important times to strengthen your muscles? While you sleep, your body activates complex cellular repair processes. Muscle fibers damaged during daytime activities begin to regenerate. Muscle growth doesn't occur while you exercise or move, but while you rest. And without proper nutrition, the body lacks the building blocks necessary to carry out this process. In an ideal world, every night, when you go to bed, your body would enter a deep state of repair. During this time, It restores damaged cells and strengthens muscles, increasing their strength and firmness. This is essential because, as we age, our ability to develop and maintain muscle decreases, primarily because the cell regeneration process slows down. Without proper nutrition, this repair process simply doesn't occur as it should. A lack of essential protein and amino acids needed for muscle synthesis causes the body to enter a catabolic cycle, where it begins to break down its own muscle stores to obtain the nutrients it needs. But when adequate sources of protein and nutrients are provided before bed, a muscle-building process is activated while you rest. Imagine for a moment that you're lying down to rest, and instead of being fragile, your body is recovering, regenerating, and strengthening while you sleep. There's no effort or struggle. The body does all the work on its own, because you've provided it with the necessary raw materials. This process is not instantaneous, of course, but as you adopt the practice of fueling your body properly at night, you'll begin to feel the effects of this muscle recovery over time. You'll wake up less stiff, feel stronger when you get up, and notice less pain and fatigue. Each day, a little stronger. Each night, a little more repaired. Muscle recovery during sleep goes beyond simple physical repair. It's also linked to mental recovery. During sleep, the mind also undergoes a regeneration process, and a lack of adequate rest directly affects emotional well-being. With proper nutrition and rest, not only is the body strengthened, but also the mind. Internal balance is restored, vital energy flows more fully, and you begin to wake up not only physically renewed, but also spiritually. As you prepare for bed, remember, every night, your body works silently and deeply to restore what has been lost. He doesn't ask for much. He asks for your trust and your wise decisions. By fueling your muscles with the right protein before bed, you're laying the foundation for a stronger, more balanced body, better able to face the challenges of the next day. It is in rest that the body finds its strength. It is in the silence of sleep that the body rebuilds itself. And it's when you give your body what it needs that it gives back to you with renewed vitality. You are beginning to understand that sleep is not just about resting. It is the basis of health. This is where the healing happens. Now that you understand how eating before bed can activate your body's regeneration and how sleep is essential for strengthening muscles, it's time to look at the impact these changes can have on your daily life. Because it's not just about waking up stronger. It's about regaining the ability to live with more vitality, more energy, and more independence. When you start giving your body the right fuel at night, it not only recovers but also strengthens. You begin to notice small changes, sometimes subtle but powerful. The feeling of tiredness upon waking decreases, muscles are no longer as sore, and joint stiffness begins to disappear. These signs are proof that you are doing something right. Your body is responding. The cycle of muscle destruction has been interrupted and a new cycle of strengthening is being activated. Imagine waking up in the morning feeling lighter, stronger, and more energetic. Imagine no longer having to drag yourself out of bed, but instead having the energy to get up easily, ready to face the day with the same vigor as before. This is the power of muscle recovery and proper nighttime nutrition. As these processes occur, we begin to notice more than just physical changes. Adequate sleep and proper nutrition also affect your mind. Mental clarity begins to return, energy for daily activities returns, and the feeling that age is sapping your vitality begins to dissipate. You are no longer at the mercy of aging. You are taking control of your health and strength. By allowing yourself to follow these simple yet profound steps, you will begin to rebuild your life from the inside out. It doesn't matter how old you are. The body, with proper care, can renew and revitalize itself in ways you never imagined possible. You may even start to notice that your muscles are firmer. You no longer feel that weakness in your legs when climbing stairs or that extreme fatigue after a normal day. Everyday activities that seemed heavy begin to seem lighter. And most importantly, you recover what you thought was lost, your independence. This transformation does not happen overnight. But over time, each night of restful sleep adds up to small miracles. You will no longer feel like you are in a process of decline, but rather in a process of constant renewal. It's like you're giving your body a chance to flourish again, even after years of wear and tear. This is the path to healthy aging. This is the secret to maintaining strength, flexibility, energy, and independence, no matter what stage of life you're in. Now ask yourself, how are you taking care of yourself? What habits have you been following? What have you offered your body so that it can recover, grow, and become stronger? Change begins with small gestures, with decisions made in the stillness of the night. By adopting these simple practices, you are already creating the foundation for a stronger, more energetic, and more balanced life. I would like to know what you think about this process. Have you ever felt like you could improve your nighttime recovery? What changes have you noticed in your body since you started giving it the right fuel at night? Leave your comments, share your experience, and let's continue this journey of health and strength together. The path is being laid out, and the first step was taken. Now, every night, you begin to strengthen not only your body, but your life. When you understand how sleep and nighttime nutrition can transform your body, a crucial question arises. How can you maintain this constant renewal? How can you ensure your body grows stronger night after night without the wear and tear of routine dragging you back into fragility? The answer lies in balance. When you begin to nourish your body properly, transformation begins to occur. But at the same time, your mind and spirit must also align with this process. The body is not a machine separate from your essence. It's a reflection of your inner state, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Therefore, while you work to regain your physical strength, it's also essential to cultivate a state of inner harmony. The balance we seek is not only physical, but holistic. Body, mind, and spirit must be in harmony, working together to achieve maximum health and vitality. For a long time, it was believed that physical strength and mental serenity were separate spheres, and that to be strong, one had to fight. But true strength comes from peace, inner tranquility, and a deep connection with oneself. Imagine for a moment the effect this would have on your life. Not only would you wake up physically stronger, but you would also feel calmer and more focused. You'll notice that as your muscles begin to repair themselves during sleep, your mind also calms and resets. This is no coincidence. When the body finds rest and recovery, the mind also finds space for serenity. The key to this balance is continuous attention. It's not enough to give your body the right foods. It's not enough to let it recover overnight. You also need to nourish your mind, allowing it to free itself from accumulated stress, turbulent thoughts, and excessive worries. This means cultivating a wellness routine that includes, in addition to a healthy diet, practices that promote relaxation and inner peace. Meditation, for example, can be a powerful tool. The simple practice of sitting quietly, breathing deeply, and focusing your attention on the present moment can relieve tension in the mind and help the body enter a deeper state of balance. Over time, this will be reflected in the quality of your sleep, the regeneration of your muscles, and the way you see the world around you. The simple act of slowing down and allowing your mind to calm down can accelerate your body's recovery, creating a symbiosis between the two. Gratitude is another practice that can transform your health. By reflecting on what you've already accomplished, on the small daily miracles that happen in your life, you begin to change your body's chemistry. Gratitude reduces stress levels, improves emotional health, and consequently strengthens the immune system, allowing the body to recover more effectively. It's as if you're sending signals to your body that you're in tune with the universe, with your journey, with the natural flow of life. True strength comes from the union of these elements: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. While you take care of your body with proper nutrition, you also take care of your mind with practices of serenity, connection, and gratitude. And with that, you create a cycle of healing, strengthening, and renewal that doesn't depend on any single factor, but on the harmony between all aspects of your being. This balance is what allows you to age with grace, strength, and vitality. You don't get more fragile over time. Instead, you learn to integrate all your experiences, physical, mental, and spiritual, so that as you age, you become wiser, more centered, and more balanced. So as you continue with the practices you already know, remember, transformation begins with nutrition, but it is complete when you also nourish your mind and spirit. This is the secret to healthy aging, with renewed strength every day. And you are on the right track. The journey you have undertaken is not a visible or immediate path. Your body's transformation won't happen overnight. It happens silently, from the inside out, with every good night's sleep, every nutritious meal, and every moment you dedicate to self-care. The body, like the mind, reinvents itself through the small decisions you make. The true miracle of regeneration isn't instantaneous. It's not a grandiose event that happens overnight, but a gradual, profound, and transformative process. Every night you allow yourself to rest with proper nutrition, you allow your body to begin renewing itself. It begins to rebuild worn-out muscles, restoring lost balance and strengthening what seemed fragile. This silent transformation occurs during sleep, when the body reaches its deepest state of recovery. You may not see the results immediately, but they are there, in every cell, every muscle fiber, every tissue that is restored while you rest. And when you wake up, you begin to notice the changes. Not explosively, but with the lightness of awakening, with renewed strength as you take your first steps of the day. The body that felt tired and weakened begins to respond with more vitality. You feel the difference, not because something big has suddenly happened, but because small signs of recovery have begun to appear. Your energy, which previously seemed to slip through the cracks of fatigue, now begins to replenish. Stiffness gives way to flexibility. Pain gives way to comfort. And you begin to feel stronger, more capable, more present. But you have to be patient. Like any true transformation, it doesn't happen overnight. What you're building isn't a facade. It's not something that will disappear in a few days of neglect. What you are building is a solid foundation. It is a return to your natural state of vitality, where body and mind can connect and support each other in a continuous cycle of healing. This process of transformation isn't a struggle. It's not something you have to force. It is, in fact, an act of surrender. Simply allow yourself to trust your body, the foods you choose to fuel it, and the rest you choose to give it. And by doing this, your body responds with renewed strength, more vibrant health, and fuller energy. It's important to remember that healing happens at its own pace. Don't rush it. The body is wise and knows what it has to do. You will absorb nutrients, recover what you lost, regain your strength, but this happens in due time. The true beauty of this process lies in its sustainability. The transformation you seek isn't just for today or tomorrow. It's lasting because it's based on habits that respect the body and its natural ability to heal and strengthen itself. It doesn't matter how old you are. No matter where you are on your journey, the body has an incredible capacity for regeneration, adaptation, and renewal. By cultivating this ability with care and patience, it begins to respond with the strength and vitality you thought you'd lost. This journey of silent transformation reminds us that time doesn't have to be an enemy. It can be an ally. As the years go by, the body's wisdom becomes more evident. And with proper care, it will not only stand the test of time, but will flourish. So don't worry about how quickly the transformation will happen. It's happening, even if you don't see it right away. The important thing is that you're on the right path, and with each step you take, your body becomes stronger, more balanced, and better prepared to live with full vitality. The process of renewal continues, and you're closer to achieving the harmony you've always sought. We've reached the end of our journey, but this is just the beginning of yours. The path you've taken so far is a reflection of a much larger, much deeper process, one that begins within you and is reflected in everything around you. What you've learned about how your body, mind, and spirit work together to heal you is not just knowledge, but an awakening. A silent revolution that begins with small actions but expands into your life in ways you never imagined. The simple act of nourishing your body properly at night, allowing it to regenerate while you rest, is one of the greatest displays of self-love. And not only that, it's the key to recovering what seemed lost: your vitality, your strength, your energy. You're no longer just surviving time. You are beginning to live in a way that reflects the true wisdom that age can offer. Throughout this process, you may have realized that while transformation happens from the inside out, it also happens to those around you. Your body isn't a machine that simply runs on a cycle of wear and tear. It's a reflection of your soul, your mind, and your choices. Every small gesture you make, every food choice, every moment of rest, every practice of connecting with your inner serenity has a profound impact on your life, your balance, and your energy. Now you know you can be strong. You know that your body has the ability to regenerate, to recover, to strengthen itself. No matter how old you are or what you've faced so far, the power of transformation is in your hands. You are in control of your health, your well-being, your vitality. And what you learned here is not something you should keep to yourself. You are now the bearer of powerful knowledge that can change not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Sharing what you've learned and sharing your experience can be the key to helping others awaken to the transformation that is within their reach. Tell us how these practices have impacted your life. Your journey is valuable, and by sharing your reflections, you empower not only yourself but also those around you. So, if this message moves you and inspires you to continue on this path, don't hesitate to interact. Like this video, share it with your loved ones, and comment on what you learned most. The transformation doesn't end here. It continues with you. Now is the time to make a difference. To move forward with confidence, knowing that with every good night's sleep and every conscious dietary choice, you're laying the foundation for a stronger, more vibrant, and healthier life. I feel deeply honored to have shared this moment with you, to have guided you on this journey of transformation. This video, this content, didn't come to you by chance. It was part of your journey, an opportunity to rediscover the strength that lies within you. You are now stronger than before. You're more prepared for life's challenges, more balanced, more focused, and, above all, more connected to your body and your essence. The change that began here is now in your hands. And remember, the journey of transformation never ends. It's continuous. With every decision, every day, every night's sleep, you reinvent yourself. You become the best version of yourself. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing yourself to transform. And may this transformation be reflected not only in your physical health, but in your peace, your energy, and your happiness. You deserve to live fully. And now you have the tools to make it happen.